Well, that's a nice way to start off a 3-game series. Yo, what's going on, everybody? Welcome to the Phillies Sets videocast here recapping last night's game between the Philadelphia Phillies and the Washington Nationals as the Phillies defeat the Nationals by a final score of 6-2 as Bryce Harper homers against his former team once again. You love to see that. And this Phillies offense getting some turns later in the ballgame. Now, guys, before getting into this video, please subscribe if you haven't yet. Please turn the notification bell. Please like this video, comment on this video, share this video, and let's get into this. What a great way to start off the 3-game set in DC, win the first game of 3-game set. I expect this team to win the series. I mean, after winning the first game, you saw they just totally squandered the opportunity to win the series in Atlanta. So hopefully they could finally do it here in DC and finally win their first 3-game set on the road since 2019. We always talked about it, how back in 2020 they actually did win the first 2 games of the 3-game set in DC last year, but that third game was not played, so unfortunately it did not count. But pick up the scoring summary. In the top of the first inning, Bryce Harper going against his former teammate Eric Fetty. He homers on a fly ball to right field. That ball was crushed. It was off the facing of the upper deck. Harper's 7th of the season. It's just a shame he's hitting all these solo shots. Nobody's getting on base for him, but a home run is a home run against the Nats. They still boo him, right? They still love to boo Bryce, and after they win a World Series championship, they still miss him. I just love it. You see he does a little circle as he runs around those bases, and it's 1-0 Philadelphia. So Harper does it again. That's his 6th career home run against the Nationals. So doing against his former squad and his former teammate Eric Fetty. They were, I think they knew each other in Las Vegas since they grew up around the same area. Take it up, top 3. Rhys Hoskins, he singles on a line drive to center field, a nice clutch hit. Bryce Harper comes around to score, and the Phillies then take a 2-0 lead. So great job out of Rhys Hoskins getting Bryce in there. I mean, that's good situational hitting right there. I mean, you got a couple ducks on the pond, and you get them in. That's what you got to do. That's what you got to do. And unfortunately, the 6th inning, we'll get to this a little bit later. Squandering an opportunity, the bases loaded, but Rhys Hoskins got the job done there. And then at the time of the 4th inning, Andrew McCutchen, fundamental baseball here. We have a do-error on third base with 1 out. What does Andrew McCutchen do? He hits a sacrifice fly to left field to score El Torito. And the Phillies now jump ahead to a 3-0 lead. That is fundamental baseball. That's doing the right thing. When you have a runner at third with just 1 out, less than 2 outs, you got to get him in. You got to get him in. So that is good situational hitting. That's fundamental baseball. That's fundamental baseball right there. Then in the bottom of the 6th inning, after we in the top of the 6th inning, we lead the bases. We get the bases loaded with nobody out, and we get nothing, not one. We strand the bases loaded with 0 out. After Andrew McCutchen, I tell you what, he needs to stop striking out looking. It really annoys me. I understand he got the job done with the sac fly, but he needs to stop looking at pitches that are strikes. I understand Laz Diaz had a terrible night back there. There's no question about it. You can't deny it. But boy, he needs to stop looking at pitches that are strikes. There's no excuse for that. I understand we got a little unlucky there with Chase Anderson having the bat. I mean, who knows though, because he got taken out in the bottom of the 6th. I mean, who knows? You don't have a crystal ball, right? Joe Girardi doesn't have a crystal ball, but I'm sure he regrets not pinching in it. But we won this game. But at the time, of course, we didn't know we'd win this game. But bottom of the 6th inning, the Nats get one right back. It's Trey Turner. He homers on a line drive to center field, his 8th of the season. And the Nats get on the board now, a 3-1 ball game. So Trey Turner, definitely one of the best shortstops in the game. He's one of the fastest in the game. There's no question. Not only does shortstops this all-around player. I mean, this guy is so fast. He's just a great player. There's no question about it. He gets the Nats on the board. And then in the same inning, Kyle Schwarber, he singles on a ground ball to center field. Juan Soto scores. And it's now a 3-2 ball game. So, things were not looking too good there. We took out Chase Anderson. We bring in Sam Coonrad. He allowed that RBI single to Kyle Schwarber, but that was, of course, an unearned run. So it makes sense since he did allow Soto to reach base. But so now it's just a 1-run ball game. So at this point, I'm thinking like, oh my goodness gracious, the bullpen has to go the rest of the way, and we've wasted so many opportunities. I understand we got some runners in, runners scoring position. Rhys Hoskins, the RBI single, Andrew McCutchen attack fly, but it was so discouraging. We had bases loaded, nobody out, and we got nothing. I'm like, oh my goodness gracious, we have to do more. Now at just a 1-run ball game. Then at top of the 8th inning, we get some insurance. Alec Boehm, who did not start this game, came in a double switch. He doubles on a sharp ground ball to right field. Aldubo Herrera scores. I tell you what, El Torito is definitely on fire, and it's now a 4-2 ball game. Great job out of Alec Boehm, and getting some insurance, right? Getting some insurance. And if we would have been done scoring an inning, that would have been good enough to win us the ball game. Even if we didn't even score any more runs, I mean, of course we got to because we didn't know, but that would have been good enough to win us the game right there. But we were not done that inning. as Andrew Knapp, who JT Muto did actually, we'll talk about this a little bit later, the foul ball hit off of his guard. And hopefully he's okay, but man, oh man, that looked really, really painful. Andrew Knapp, he singles on a sharp line drive the other way to left field. He hit from the left side of the plate. Alec Boehm and Andrew McCutchen score, and it's now a 6-2 ball game. And the Phillies are going to win with that score 6-2. Andrew Knapp doing his job right there. I mean, I didn't have a lot of confidence when he came up in that situation, but he got the job done. I tell you, he got the job done. Good for Andrew Knapp. And hopefully he can continue to keep up that pace. But Andrew McCutchen with a nice stack fly last night. But unfortunately, like I said before, he needs to stop looking at pitches that are strikes. Gene Segura, a rare hitless performance, a rough 0 for 5 last night. This just goes to show you how well he's been doing. His average dropped to 359. Unbelievable. Bryce Harper with the solo shot. Like I said, nobody's getting on base for him. That's why the RBI total is so low. He sits at 11 RBIs in the season. He has 7 home runs and only has 11 RBIs. Because it's just like no one's getting on base for these home runs. I mean, it's just like, it's kind of sad. It's kind of sad. And 2 walks, one of them being intentional because they're so scared to pitch to this guy. It's actually kind of funny. JT Muto with another walk, but like I said, he did exit the game after a ball was fouled off of his guard. I mean, it's just like, that looked painful, but I mean, I think he's fine. You saw it hit the padding down there, so hopefully he's going to be all right. But yeah, I think he was just taken out just for precautionary reasons. But Andrew Knapp came in to play the rest of the game for him. He got that 2 RBI single, which you love to see. Brad Miller collecting a knock. But Rhys Hoskins with that clutch RBI single. We all know that he's been really, really struggling right now. And I don't know what's going to give with this guy. As John Kruk said, when he's hot, but he's not hot for long. John Kruk said that last night, and I thought that was so true. Like, he's hot, but he's not hot for long. And that kind of... He's right about that. And Didi Gregorius, I mean, I understand he got a hit last night, but it looks like he's playing hurt. He doesn't look like Didi Gregorius. You saw he had a couple ducks on the pond, couldn't get the job done, but he doesn't look like the same Didi Gregorius that we saw last season. Now just hitting .233 in the year. He needs to pick it up. And we all know this guy's not going to be, he's not like fantastic. We all know that, but he needs to start stepping his game up. There's no question about it. It was kind of a disappointing night for Didi. But Odubel with another 2-hit performance. The 2 runs scored. Now batting .209 in the year. The 2 walks. I mean, his plate discipline looks better. He just looks like a better player. I told you to give this guy another chance. He's in his last 7 games, he's hitting .333. So he's definitely starting to pick it up. There's no question. I told you he had to get his feet wet a little bit coming out to the big leagues again because it's been so long since he's been up in the big leagues. He has to get ready a little bit. So I told you to be patient with Odubel. And sure enough, he's starting to play better. He's starting to pick it up. There's no question about it. He looks like a completely different player. But good for Alec Boehm coming off the bench. And, I understand he did not start this game. He got the night off, but... from starting, like I said before, he did get 2 at-bats. He came into the ball game with the double switch with the RBI double to get us to extra run, and then, of course, we wouldn't be done that inning. Take a look at Chase Anderson's start. 5 innings, 3 hits, 2 runs, and 2 runs were earned, 1 walk, and 5 strikeouts. Out of your number 5, these are not bad numbers. I understand he's only going like 5-6 innings, but as your number 5, that's not terrible. And he's been decent this year. I mean, you could knock him all you want. You could say, oh my gosh, this guy's terrible. He's not having a good year. I mean, he's not bad as a number 5. These are not bad numbers. He hasn't had an atrocious, terrible outing this year. I understand he's had a few blunders, but I mean, it's just like he's not as bad as Matt Moore. No question about that. But Chase Anderson not been terrible this year. But Sam Coonrad, a 1.06 ERA. Can you believe that Sam Coonrad has a 1.06 ERA? I mean, I understand he allowed that single to Carl Shore. That was an unearned run, though, because Juan Soto was put on base by Chase Anderson. So you can't really blame Sam Coonrad for that. Of course, he did allow a hit, though. I mean, you can't deny that. But Brandon Kinsler, he needs to start picking it up. You saw he only pitched 2/3 innings last night, allowed the hit, has a 6 ERA. He needs to get that down. Jose Alvarado, I mean, when he was facing Trey Turner, that was a really long at-bat. I believe that was 10-plus pitches. But threw that fastball way up in the zone and goes all the way to the... It wasn't even close. Wasn't even close. I mean, what was that all about? I mean, that was just bizarre. We were able to get out of that inning. But man, oh man, every time Jose Alvarado comes in the game, it's so scary. He always does something crazy. It's just oh my goodness, it just gives me a heart attack watching this guy play. But Connor Brogdon, he needed a nice clean inning last night. Listening out a hit, but he needs to get that ERA lower. I mean, he's still suffering from that horrible appearance he had against the San Francisco Giants. Now, what has it now been? 3 weeks? 3 weeks ago now. He's still recovering from that. His ERA is still, slowly going down. But man, oh man, that really jumped his ERA. But Hector Neris, everything always has to be scary. I mean, this is the way you bring in Hector Neris. Right, in a 4-run lead, it's not a safe situation with the one hit. But more and more, I mean, one thing we need to work on is we need to put guys away when you have them 2 strikes, especially when you're ahead in the count. Yeah, if you're down at 3-0 and then you get them 2 strikes, I understand it. You walk them. Hey, things happen. But when you have them ahead, 1-2, 0-2, you have to finish the job. I understand occasionally you're not going to, but you can't be walking guys when you have them in 0-2 counts. I mean, it happened a few times last night. You cannot be doing that. We cannot be doing that. You got to finish the job. And that was a problem with Vince Velasquez. That was a problem. You go back and look at Nick Pivetta, who's having a great year in Boston. That was a problem with a lot of those guys. We need to learn how to finish the job. And I'm hoping that Caleb Cotham can, work on that a little bit more. But we've had so many pitching coaches the last couple of years. Brian Price. You go back and look at Chris Young and Rick Kranitz in 2018, and we've been going through a lot of pitching coaches. It's just like so many. I've never seen a team go through so many pitching coaches. I think getting rid of Rick Kranitz was a mistake, but that's a whole other story. But we did that to keep Chris Young from leaving, but we ended up firing Chris Young a year later because we just couldn't see him to pitch well in 2019. So then the Phillies win the first game of the 3-game set in D.C. What a great way to start off the 3-game set, but we did win the first of 3 in Atlanta. We should have won that second game, and I'm not going to keep going back to that, but it's very, very important. So hopefully we can win tonight with Zach Wheeler on the mound, 7-5 start, 3-2 with a 2.83 ERA going against John Lester, number 34. I think there was a guy in the Nationals who used to wear number 34. I think his name was Bryce something. I think it was Harper. I'm not 100% sure, but he's 0-1 with a 2.70 ERA. And then, like I said, I didn't have time to really do it on, I believe that was yesterday morning when I recapped the Sunday game. Zach Eflin 2-1 with a 3.38 ERA going against Patrick Corbin's had a rough year, 1-3 with a 7.36 ERA. But I did not have time to go over these starters in yesterday morning's video. So go back and take a look at the divisional scores. The Mets, who were trailing against the Orioles, came back and won 3-2. You just hate to see it out there now. 4 over 500. But Jacob deGrom going to the injured list. I don't wish any injury. I like Jacob deGrom. He's a very good pitcher, but I don't wish injuries with anybody. But that does definitely help us. But the Mets are playing such bad baseball teams, like the Diamondbacks. They're playing the Orioles. These are not legit teams, so you can't really put too much stock into this. But they are beating the teams. You can't take that away from them. But the Braves lose, right? I mean, the Blue Jays go down to Atlanta, and they beat the Braves by a final score of 5-3. So the Braves, after winning the series against us, lose the first game of the series. And then the Diamondbacks whip up on the Marlins by a final score of 11-3 after they got swept out by the New York Mets. They come out and beat the Marlins 11-3. Boy, oh boy, the Marlins definitely got smacked around a little bit. There's no question about it. But the Phillies did their job, right? We're a little bit disappointed the Mets ended up winning last night, and luckily the Braves and Marlins lost, but especially the Braves, because the Marlins don't really scare me. The Braves really scare me, but the Phillies need to go out and do their job, right? They don't have any control over what the Mets do. They don't have any control of what the Braves do. Now, is it frustrating when they win? Yes. It is. There's no question about it, but we have no control over it. I don't have control over what the Phillies do. But I'm just talking about it from the Phillies' perspective. If you're, Reese or JT, you can't get upset, when these other teams, because there's nothing you could do about it, right? You could just go out and we need to go out and do our job. We need to go out and do our job and play good baseball and fight for October baseball. That is our job, right? It's not. That is our job, right? So we can't worry about what the rest of the league does. Would it be great if every team in our division lost? Absolutely. But we can't worry about that. Of course, we hope for the best and cope with the rest, right? So that's how it goes. So guys, thanks for watching this video. Please subscribe if you have not yet. Please turn on the notification bell. Please like this video, comment on this video, share this video. Check out the social media link in the description section at Phillies Sound Self Instagram, TikTok for next Instagram, call or text 267-225-3392. Email me, phillieshoundstove@gmail.com. 7-5, the first pitch tonight in D.C. Let's get the Game 2 victory and win the series. Zach Wheeler, 3-2 with a 2.83 ERA going against John Lester. So let's get this dub tonight. Great first game in D.C. Thank you guys so much for watching. I am Luke, and I'll talk to you later. Let's go, Phillies. I'll see you again.